Have you ever wondered if some of your habits in the bedroom might be impacting your health as you get older? It's a question many couples shy away from, often assuming that intimacy naturally fades or that certain discomforts are just part of aging. But what if some of the things we're doing or not doing are actually contributing to a decline in our physical and emotional well-being? Staying sexually active as we age is a powerful indicator of overall health. Physical, emotional, and even social. It signifies that you still desire connection, still feel passion, and want to share yourself with someone. But just like every other aspect of aging, intimacy changes. And unless you're willing to adapt and grow with it, you might be unintentionally engaging in behaviors that are silently harming your body, your confidence, or even your relationship. This isn't about assigning blame or creating shame. It's about protecting what matters most: trust, comfort, and genuine connection. The goal isn't to chase intimacy as it used to be, but to rediscover what it can be now, free from pressure, filled with possibilities, and rooted in the kind of wisdom that only comes with age. Think of it as a recalibration. A chance to fine-tune your approach to intimacy so it aligns with your current needs and desires. These habits aren't often discussed openly, but they're surprisingly common. And the moment you become aware of them, you open the door to something better, something more relaxed, more fulfilling, and more in tune with where you are in life. Consider this. Are you perhaps pushing through pain or discomfort, hoping it will just go away? Are you avoiding honest conversations about your needs and desires, fearing it might spoil the mood or hurt your partner's feelings? Are you relying on outdated techniques that no longer serve you, clinging to the past instead of embracing the present? Are you perhaps tempted by quick fixes or performance enhancers without fully understanding the risks involved? Or are you holding on to rigid expectations about what sex should look like, comparing each experience to a younger version of yourself? These are the kinds of subtle yet significant habits that can create a disconnect, not just in the bedroom, but in the overall relationship. They can lead to frustration, resentment, and a gradual erosion of intimacy over time. It's easy to fall into these patterns, especially after years or even decades together. But the good news is that with a little awareness and a willingness to change, you can break free from these habits and rediscover the joy and connection that intimacy can bring. This video is for anyone who wants to nurture a healthy, fulfilling, intimate life as they age, not by clinging to the past, but by embracing the possibilities of the present. It's about shifting your perspective, opening up communication, and prioritizing your overall well-being. Because intimacy isn't just about physical acts, it's about emotional connection, mutual respect, and a shared journey of discovery. Let's delve into the physiological landscape that underpins these shifts in intimacy as we age. It's essential to understand these changes aren't simply a matter of getting old, but rather a complex interplay of hormonal adjustments, circulatory modifications, and nervous system recalibrations. For women, menopause marks a significant turning point, with a decline in estrogen leading to vaginal dryness, thinner vaginal walls, and potentially discomfort during intercourse. This isn't just a localized issue. Lower estrogen levels can also influence mood, energy levels, and overall libido, impacting desire and arousal. Men, too, experience hormonal shifts, albeit more gradual. Testosterone levels tend to decrease with age, which can affect erectile function, sexual desire, and energy. However, it's crucial to recognize that testosterone isn't the sole determinant of male sexual health. Factors such as cardiovascular health, nerve function, and psychological well-being all play a crucial role. Furthermore, certain medical conditions prevalent in older adults, such as diabetes, hypertension, and arthritis, can directly impact sexual function and comfort. Diabetes, for instance, can damage nerves and blood vessels, affecting sensation and blood flow to the genitals. Building on this understanding, however, we must also acknowledge the role of medications. Countless medications commonly prescribed to older adults can have unintended side effects on sexual function. Antidepressants, blood pressure medications, and even certain antihistamines can contribute to decreased libido, erectile dysfunction, or difficulty achieving orgasm. It's imperative to have an open dialogue with your physician about any medications you're taking and their potential impact on your sexual health. Another crucial layer is the psychological dimension. Anxiety, stress, and body image concerns can all significantly influence intimacy, irrespective of age. The pressure to perform, anxieties about physical appearance, or unresolved emotional issues can create a barrier to genuine connection and enjoyment. Consider now how this applies when facing physical limitations. If you're dealing with joint pain or mobility issues, certain positions may become uncomfortable or even impossible. The key is to explore alternative positions and strategies that minimize strain and maximize comfort. This might involve using pillows for support, experimenting with different angles, or simply focusing on non-penetrative forms of intimacy. Furthermore, remember that intimacy isn't solely about intercourse. Foreplay, sensual touch, massage, and shared experiences can all contribute to a fulfilling and connected intimate life. The goal is to adapt and explore, finding what works best for you and your partner in your current circumstances. It is this adaptive behavior that ensures a continued and fulfilling intimacy in the golden years. Drawing these threads together, we begin to perceive a mosaic, not of decline, but of evolution. It's a picture painted with the nuanced strokes of physiological adaptation, the vibrant hues of emotional expression, and the bold lines of conscious choice. What emerges isn't a story of limitations, but of transformation, an invitation to redefine intimacy on your own terms. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer. It's a journey of self-discovery and shared exploration. It calls for a willingness to shed preconceived notions, to embrace vulnerability, and to prioritize open communication. It demands a shift in perspective, from focusing on what's been lost to celebrating what remains and what can still be gained. Think of it as tending a garden. As seasons change, so too must the care and cultivation. What once thrived effortlessly may now require different nutrients, more gentle handling, or perhaps even a completely new arrangement. The gardener who stubbornly clings to old methods will find their garden withering. But the gardener who adapts, who learns from the changing environment, will find their garden flourishing in unexpected ways. As we pivot toward the final reflection, consider the cumulative effect of these adjustments. It's not about achieving a specific outcome or replicating a past experience. It's about creating a space of safety, trust, and mutual respect where both partners feel seen, heard, and valued. It's about fostering a deeper connection, one that transcends the physical and nourishes the emotional and spiritual bonds that have sustained your relationship over time. It is, at its heart, about prioritizing the relationship. Reflecting on this journey so far, we recognize that intimacy isn't a destination, but a continuous voyage. It requires ongoing attention, active participation, and a willingness to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of life. It is about embracing the wisdom that comes with age, knowing that the most meaningful connections are those that are nurtured with intention, honesty, and unwavering compassion. What remains is not a set of rules, but rather a framework for fostering deeper connection and sustained intimacy in the years to come. It is this framework that provides a foundation for growth and continued closeness. In closing, let's recognize that the pursuit of lasting intimacy isn't about clinging to a youthful ideal, but about embracing the profound beauty of shared growth. It's about recognizing that the most vibrant connections are those that evolve alongside us, adapting to the changing seasons of life and deepening with the passage of time. It is a recognition of the shared journey. Consider intimacy not as a fixed state, but as a flowing river, constantly reshaping its course, sometimes turbulent, sometimes serene, but always moving forward. To dam that river with rigid expectations, outdated practices, or unspoken fears is to stifle its life-giving force. But to allow it to flow freely, to navigate its currents with awareness and compassion, is to unlock its boundless potential for connection and renewal. It is to accept the river's nature. The core message distilled is this: true intimacy isn't about performance, it's about presence. It's about being fully present with yourself, with your partner, and with the unfolding experience of the moment. It's about listening deeply, responding with empathy, and cherishing the unique and irreplaceable bond that you share. It is about shared experience. The true practice begins now, not in striving to recapture a lost past, but in cultivating a more authentic and meaningful connection in the present. Release the pressure to conform to external expectations or internal anxieties. Embrace the freedom to experiment, to communicate openly, and to redefine intimacy on your own terms. Know that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength, and that the willingness to be truly seen is the foundation of lasting love. It is this authenticity that sustains connection. And so, as you move forward, may you find the courage to embrace the ever-evolving dance of intimacy, to shed the habits that no longer serve you, and to cultivate a connection that is as vibrant, resilient, and deeply fulfilling as you are. May your journey be filled with joy, laughter, and the unwavering knowledge that you are worthy of love, connection, and a lifetime of shared intimacy. The journey continues, and it is yours to shape.